All right, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Today, we're going to discuss alignment in English. And the reason why we're discussing alignment in English is because we want our students to be successful in the classroom. And you will learn about different aspects of alignment as it relates to the subject of English. Are we ready?
We're ready.
All right. When we look at this particular paradigm or this particular graph, we see the definition of what alignment is based on. But for the purposes of this particular workshop, we're going to focus on the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills, which is the TEKS. So if you have a child or a student, or if you teach a student in the area of Texas, then you're going to base your curriculum on TEKS. So if someone asks you what is your curriculum is TEKS. However, you will also discover in this presentation that there are different programs that are supplemented to become aligned with the TEKS. But unfortunately, what we find out sometimes is that the curriculum or materials that are presented to students aren't aligned with the TEKS. So therefore, the expectations when it's time for testing, those students do not know some of the concepts. So the purpose of this great workshop is to understand how to align your curriculum and instruction to the TEKS so that students can be successful. All right? All right, so what is the TEKS? The TEKS stand for Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills. I have this visual up here because this is what drives the particular curriculum in the classrooms. This is what drives the understanding of students to become productive in college. We have the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills. So when we have different concepts, when we have different curriculum, we base our curriculum on the TEKS. Are there any questions so far?
No.
Okay, great. Example of a TEKS objective. What I did was I basically went to the computer and I have a format and I have a concept for the TEKS. And so I looked at my TEKS folder, and here's an example of a TEKS for a 7th grader. Summarize the main ideas and supporting details in text, demonstrating and understanding that a summary does not include opinions. All right? So the main focus, what do you think one of the focuses is for our students on here? Just by looking at this TEKS.
I would say the main idea, because once you know what the main idea is, you can kind of understand the passage that you're reading.
Correct. And this is a concept, main idea. As a matter of fact, when students take the reading test, okay, the main idea is essential for each and every one of the students because it tells the students what the paragraph, what the passage is about. And when you understand what the concept is about, you're able to answer the questions effectively. Does that make sense? Okay. What else do we need to look at in the main ideas? What's another concept within here?
The details that is within the text.
Right. So we teach students, we want you to look at the main idea, we want you to observe the details. And I tell students the main idea is like the heart of the body, it's the big picture. And the details are like our arms, our legs, the different concepts that goes with it. And so we have to look at these TEKS and pull out those essential words, main idea, supporting details. And we have to create the visual. What is it? How does it look? How does it sound? Well, it's your heartbeat. You know, it's basically the supporting details is what all goes with the body. Okay? Any questions with that so far? Okay. Now, we always start with the end in mind. This is a concept that we utilize when we're planning as administrators, as teachers, as superintendents of schools. But we always plan to start with the end in mind. What do we want the students to know? And basically, the TEKS are the end in mind. I think of the TEKS as the end in mind because it illustrates what is to be taught by the student, what we should teach the students. So basically the question is, how can you achieve student success? By starting with the end in mind, starting with the TEKS. When we are viewing concepts about what materials, what books, what curriculum we need, we need to start with the end in mind with the teens. Now, I'm going to play this video, and I really want you to observe what we require, what we're expecting for our students to know. And we convey this message to the community. We convey this message to the parents. So I really want you to focus on this video. I'm going to see if it plays. If it doesn't, then we'll still talk about starting with the end in mind. Okay.
Every year, students and teachers across the country enter their classrooms believing in the promise of public education, believing that every child has the opportunity to succeed. That's the promise, but how are you getting there? How can you achieve this when, despite our best efforts, equity in education remains a privilege rather than a right? At LDC, we know that despite the mounting challenges educators across the country face, equity in education can be achieved. The promise is big, but our premise is simple. Quality matters. We know what you're thinking. Here's another year and yet another initiative. But LDC is different. LDC is about efficiency. We aren't another add-on. Instead, our backward design process fuels the work most schools are already attempting to do, greatly impacting student achievement and engagement, increasing teacher skills and efficacy, raising the rigor of assessments and instruction, and creating alignment between curriculum, instruction, and assessment. At LDC, we recognize that there is no one-size-fits-all model for creating equity in education. That is why we always start with your goals for improvement. Schools and districts typically begin an LDC implementation by taking stock of their curriculum. This is often followed by an alignment process between standards, curricula, and assessments. This process surfaces curricular gaps that can be addressed through an implementation plan. Doing this work collaboratively as a school or district community creates a coherent and aligned curriculum system for students, and at the same time defines professional practice and builds a shared vision for educators. This shared vision doesn't mean that teachers lose flexibility in their classrooms. Rather, it ensures that despite the unique goals, needs, and processes that inform a teacher's lesson plan, the artifacts teachers create as part of their LDC work are contributing to the school's common goals for a guaranteed curriculum for each student. Over the course of the LDC implementation, teams of teachers collaboratively refine their instructional practice by adapting or developing instructional plans that target specific disciplinary literacy skills and content understandings. Teachers use writing in response to reading with a precise focus on how standards are enacted at every step of an instructional plan. Through it all, teachers are supported with flexible resources and practical professional learning plans that make their work more manageable and effective. LDC is about promises. We recognize the promise you make to your students, and we want to help you fulfill that promise. When you use LDC as a frame to do real work collaboratively and transparently to build teacher and student skills, you will start to see tangible results. LDC, because quality matters.
All right. So in viewing that particular video, you was able to observe a model entitled LDC. And it's a literacy model. And as I said before, we start with the end in mind. What are some of the aspects that you learned within this particular video? For example, one of the models was that the team which was established, and we're going to talk about this and discuss this in this presentation, the team that was established was a group of educators who were able to come together, and they were able to observe the TEKS, and what else were they able to do?
They were also able to, I guess, collaborate with one another about the students' needs for school, for the TEKS test, where they were maybe weaker in this one part, say math, stronger maybe in reading, or vice versa.
Great.
They were coming up with a plan. They had to collaborate together to try to come up with a plan, and that all students are not on the same level of learning. So you have to consider that when you're trying to teach a class for the text, for the text test.
That's excellent, and collaboration is one of the keys. Gentlemen, or anyone in here, did you see anything else in the video? Was there anything else that you witnessed or observed in the video?
I just took away that collaborating, because every teacher got a different perspective and they deal with different types of students. So bringing together those teachers that, you know, can collaborate and be open-minded can help every student succeed in the end.
Right. And some of those components within that were the goals. Okay, you were able to see goals. You were able to see the collaboration, as you all stated before. You were able to see teachers working together. And that's what the program is all about, collaboration, working together, supporting the students. And that's what we're talking about today. How are we able to align the curriculum in a way that supports our students and helps our students become successful? Are there any questions about the video?
No.
Okay. Objective number one, that brings us to an objective, which is alignment. We're going to analyze the role of analyzing aligned instruction to meet the needs of each student. Teachers will be able to create how they will communicate to students in order to make or create individualized plans. Because alignment is not just observing and analyzing the TEKS, okay? This deals with or relates to looking at each student. What is it that Sally needs? What is it that John needs? What is it that Jimmy needs? And in looking at that, we're able to analyze, utilizing data, and we're able to look at the TEKS and say, okay, this is the area that this student needs help, and we're able to create those plans. All right? So that's our objective one. So what is alignment? Alignment is TEKS driven. And TEKS, as I said before, is the Texas Essential of Knowledge and Skills. This is what teachers and educators utilize in order to drive the curriculum. No matter what is bought, no matter the curriculum, this is what teachers use, okay? What does alignment look like in English, in the English class? Well, it looks like poetry. It looks like observing and understanding nonfiction and fictional books. It also looks like having expository text, creating persuasive papers. And so when we analyze the TEKS, which you have in your packet an example, then we understand that the TEKS is the source of the curriculum. It's like the heart of the curriculum. The curriculum is just the supporting details. All right? All right, objective two. We're developing a committee to meet and analyze the curriculum. So, if you're a superintendent, if you're a principal, you're going to have a committee of teachers, okay? A committee of individuals who work on your staff. You're going to have community members as well who come together and sit around like we're doing. And these particular teammates, okay, which could include parents, will sit down and there will be a table with curriculum, right? And we will have a checklist. And this particular checklist, does this meet the standards? Does this particular curriculum by this company meet the standards? And we will analyze, we will go through the book and analyze each curriculum one by one, and we will check it out to see. And one of the main components that we will learn in here is that we want to make sure that the curriculum serves all of our students, not just this particular student or that, but all of our students. We want to make sure it's inclusive. We want to make sure that it's research-based and it's data-driven. And you're going to learn how to understand that in just a minute. All right, objective three, curriculum pacing guide. Anytime that, what I tell students is we have to be able to be on the pace. We have to be able to pace ourselves, okay? Now, I want you to think about that, and I'll come right back.